Welcome to your Friday morning, November 7th morning update, and we have things to celebrate and things to talk about. First of all, Nancy Pelosi, who's been in politics for 40 years, has decided to retire. She's not going to run for office again. I think it's so she can spend more time with vodka. That's unconfirmed, so don't quote me. The other big news, of course, is something we mentioned yesterday. Zohran Mamdani, who's the talk of the country because he's the talk of the town, and the town is New York City. Well, he immediately became who he really was in his acceptance speech on Tuesday night, and everybody's been talking about it because he said some really fascinating things, and he said them in a very angry way, and some people are concerned. And half of New York didn't vote for him, and a lot of them are going to leave. Someone said somewhere in the neighborhood of 9 to 10%. So you're looking at over 1 million people fleeing the city that never sleeps. One of the reasons probably is because he said this: "We will prove that there is no problem too large for government to solve and no concern too small for it to care about."
We will prove that there is no problem too large for government to solve and no concern too small for it to care about.
That is the least American thing one could possibly say, which, of course, we all knew. And now there's a lot of other people in New York who know. And they're like, what happened to the warm fuzzy guy? Where did he go? And that was a concern for Van Jones. He was on CNN. He said this the other day. I think he missed an opportunity talking about the acceptance speech. I think the Mamdani that we saw in the campaign trail, who was a lot more calm, who was a lot warmer, who was a lot more embracing, was not present in that speech. And I think that Mamdani is the one you need to hear from tonight. There are a lot of people trying to figure out, can I get on this train with him or not? Is he going to include me? Is he going to be more a class warrior even in office? I think he missed a chance tonight to open up and bring more people into the tent. He isn't going to bring more different people into the tent, which is a concern. People think he needs to bring in, moderates who are Democrats who have success accomplishing things in New York. I don't know what that even means. New York is a shit show. The New York Times, in fact, is actually saying that. They think that it'd be really nice now that they've actually managed to successfully get this guy elected, which is what they did. That's the New York Times. They want Mamdani. They want a Marxist, socialist, anti-Semitic, Islamist terrorist, technically. I mean, he has ties to terrorists, so he's that guy. He's the guy they wanted. He's Democrat socialism. He's everything they stand for. But now that they have him, they're kibitzing a little bit here. In almost every area that featured prominently in the mayoral campaign, wrote the Times, Mr. Mamdani can improve life in New York by marrying his admirable ambition to pragmatism and compromise. The paper told him to start by building a leadership team light on democratic socialists and heavy on officials with records of accomplishment and proven management skills. Too late. That's not going to happen. He's going to do everything he can to keep his true self in charge and moving in that direction, which means maybe more than 1 million people leave New York. Who knows? It's going to be a shit show. And finally, one of the reasons it's going to be a shit show, 84% of Gen Z women in New York voted for Mamdani. It made a huge difference that all those young liberal white women voted for a guy who religiously and ideologically wants them in burqas. Who says those women are really smart? Well, I mean, they may be intelligent. They're not terribly wise. So that's New York. That's it. And we won't have Nancy Pelosi to kick around anymore. So that's some good news. Anyway, wait, I got one more story to squeeze in here. And isn't it nice you don't have Lobster Steve today? I didn't like that lighting yesterday. That was terrible. I think this is a hell of a lot better. The Houston Police Officers Union is aiming to recruit NYPD officers disaffected by Tuesday's election of Democratic Socialist Zohran Mamdani. The police union released an ad on Tuesday asking officers flat out, NYPD, are you disgusted with the election of Zohran Mamdani? Well, let's see how it works out. I think an awful lot of people in a lot of places could recruit some very qualified officers who now know, without a doubt, that not only do they have a mayor who doesn't like them, but that they have millions of citizens who don't like them either because they elected him. So Now that's it. See you on Monday.